Yep, it's about that time. We we have this discussion. But nevertheless, yep, it's me again. They hate me. That's why they give a fuck about me at the same time as always. JD Miles. The MGTOWs they love to hate. Even the ones that claim everybody loves to hate them, loves to hate MGTOW at the same time, which is why these retarded fucks keep us relevant to this very day. And I'm back again. For tonight's long awaited topic of discussion. To all these bitter, entitled single mothers out here, these men don't owe you a goddamn thing. I meant what I said, and I said exactly what I meant. These men don't owe you nothing. So please have several seats and shut the fuck up forever with your goddamn entitlement, because these men ain't obligated. If anything, if anything, if these men want to be stepfathers to be in a relationship with you and be the stepfather to your child, then guess what? It's up to him to make that decision, not you. Not none of y'all. And by the end of this video, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about what you think or how you feel. Because for quite some time now, we see all these single mothers trying to attack and shame the men because they're not going to settle, and rightfully so. These men don't want a ready-made family, and guess what? That's their decision, not yours, not yours, not your Simps, not your Captain Sabums. None of y'all fucking decision but his own. And the shit needs to fucking stop. And by the end of this video, I don't give a fuck how much I offend any of these motherfuckers who got a problem. I'm not gonna feel sorry for telling the truth. And you can't take it. The fact of the matter is this: face the facts. If a man wants to be a relationship with you and be a stepdaddy, that's his choice. And that's only if he wants to play the role. If not, then there ain't shit you can do about it. No different from whether or not a single and childless female wants to be in a relationship with a single father, a man with children. And if they don't want to settle for the role, then guess what? You bitter, entitled single mothers, you get no special rules. And as Uncle JD always stated, there's no equality on a one-way street. Y'all wanted equality, boom, you got equality. I mean, straight up, check out all these videos of these single mothers trying to shame men because they don't want to settle to be stepdaddies. They don't want to be stepfathers. They don't these men that they want don't want a ready-made family. Again, that's their decision, not yours to make. As I recall, I gave these bitter, entitled single mothers a solution because another thing we all notice is that these bitter, entitled single mothers it has this delusion that oh they can compete with the single and childless female out here in the dating market, and which is and let's be upfront and real, it's a no contest. By the end of the day, who do these men want? Do they want a woman with children? Some some end up getting children by multiple men. They got to deal with they got to deal with the drama. They got to deal with the extra baggage. They got to deal with the emotional stress and all that other shit. Or will they pick a female who is single and childless and don't have to deal with none of that? Okay then. What's more, I'm hearing it from everybody. Shit. And shit, you could go watch Kendra G's videos. Notice and just look at the delusion these single mothers have. The worst case scenario, you had this single mother with 4 to 5 kids from from 3 baby daddies out here looking for a high value man, 9 times out of 10 only for his resources. But when Kendra G asks this single mother, is she okay with a man having children, she turned around and said no. In which Kendra G called her out on her own fucking hypocrisy. So wait a minute there. You don't want a man with children, but that man that you want should be okay, having to settle with yours. I mean, straight up, because at this point, you sound like a goddamn hypocrite. And this is, and that's one of the many things, and that's one of the many things right there. They don't. These bitter, entitled single mothers don't want a man with children, but expects a man to take care of her own kids that she got from other men. If they don't have several seats, to shut the fuck up forever with that delusional fantasy. Then of course you got the ones. Then of course you got the single mothers that chose to be in this position. Uncle JD, what do you mean by that? I mean exactly what I said. You got single mothers. You got single mothers out here that chooses to be single mothers. Some of which ended up divorcing their husbands with no fault at all, with no fault at all from the husband whatsoever, all because all because she wants to end the marriage. She don't want to be they don't want to be married anymore. And I see those countless of videos. But then when they go out trying to find a man, but when they go out and try to find a man to play stepfather and they don't want to play that role, or they get treated like a booty call. Now all of a sudden they want these same single mothers by choice want to boo-hoo, whine, and cry about it. Then of course you got some that had it that had a perfect. Then of course you got these single mothers by choice who had the perfect opportunity right there. A man that would play his role as the biological father of the kids. A man that would protect, a man that would provide, a man that would shelter, and all of that. But as one of my female coworkers would say, by the end of the day, they ain't satisfied. They will never be satisfied. They end up ending their relationship with that man. Now they out here on the dating market expecting for a man, especially a man who is single and childless, to take care of that role. My advice is they need to go back to their baby daddies, especially if they did not do anything wrong. Their baby daddy was not neglectful. Their baby daddy was not abusive. Their baby daddy didn't cheated on them or did harm to the kids or did none of that. Just like how that female that went on that show had 7 kids, luckily by the same person, expecting for another person to take care of that role, only to get told by, get this, another female. And yes, to all you anti-manosphere retarded fucks out there, yes, even the women do not agree with their decision. And let's not talk about the ones that treat these men like Forest Gump. Like Forest Gump. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The Forest Gump effect. This man wanted to do everything he can for this female. What did she do? She completely dismisses him because she wanted to go out, had her fun, wanted to chase athletes, wanted to chase celebrities, want to have OF accounts, showing their asses out on Instagram, letting these ballers, actors, and letting these athletes, actors, and musicians get all up in their guts. Then again, don't have to be a celebrity. It could be someone that they find desirable, multiple, and for some, multiple. Let them all up in their guts. Pop out one child, pop up another child, go to the next person, go to the next man, pop out another child, pop out another child, go to the next man, pop out another child. And when she's done having her fun, now she wants to go back to the dude that she had waiting, expect for him to take care of not just her, but all her kids, only to get disappointed that same man that she rejected or had waiting has now moved on and has now got himself a female of his own that he could be a parent with, and it drives them nuts. And yet they still expect for these men to play the role of a stepdaddy. No, it doesn't work like that. And man, don't come in my face with that. When I was growing up, my stepdaddy took good care of me. I wonder why. And it's such a cop-out. And I repeat, it is such a cop-out to try to compare your stepdaddy growing up to why men need to settle in this day and age. Better yet, let me go ahead and explain this right here. You want to know why? You want to know why back then a man had no problem with being a stepfather to kids like you growing up? Because back then, y'all y'all mothers was not like these females that we have today. Back in the 70s, 80s, 90s, the women that became single mothers was because of neglect, abuse, cheating, harm to the children, that type of thing. Or the baby daddy was not interested in being a parent. Not as and I could tell you this. Back then, being a single mother by choice was rare. But as the years go by, being a single mother by choice has skyrocketed. And of course, y'all mothers understood that they couldn't do it alone, so they went out seeking help, and a man and they were fortunate enough that a man would go in and help. You didn't hear no shit about, oh oh, my kids come first for anything, because that's common knowledge. As a parent, your kids is supposed to come first before anything. Oh, you can't discipline my kids, or none of that type of shit. None of that shit that's going on today was not happening way back when. And of course, men from way back when had no problem doing it. But this ain't the 70s, this ain't the 80s, this ain't the 90s, shit. This ain't even the early 2000s. Nowadays, you have nowadays you have women who chooses to be single mothers have no problem doing it. However, the shit that's happening now is so fucked up. It's so fucked up that 9 times out of 10 is beyond repair. What's more, look at the celebrities that end up doing that shit. From Tia Maui to what's her name, who dated that NBA player, all up on her camera in her car, thinking a, thinking a man would come in and try to come in and sell for being a stepfather. And when that didn't happen, she lost her goddamn mind. And some of these single mothers by choice were married, had a full body had a full body husband and a father to her children. But she got tired of marriage. She don't want to be married anymore. Of course, you got the ones who wanted their hot girl summer. Want to let all these dudes run a train. Choo choo. Now they want to jump up with this sense of entitlement, thinking that a man has to settle for a ready-made family, as if these men are obligated to be stepfathers. No, they're not obligated. These men are not obligated to be stepfathers, no different than a woman isn't obligated to be a stepmother. Oh, that's right. These single mothers think they have special rules. These single mothers think that they're above the rules that they apply. Do as I say, do as I say, not as I do. Rules for D, but not for me. Type of mindset, which is absolute bullshit. Oh, but let's not also forget the reason why some of these men are not going to sell for single mothers. Experience. In other words, some of these men have played roles of a stepfather, and they've seen the dark side of it all. So bad to a point to where never, not only is it never again will they ever be a stepfather to another woman's child or even date a single mother, but they're warning other men. They are warning other men not to settle. And no, I don't blame them. This is why you got these single mothers on social media, boo-hoo, whining and crying, telling men not stop telling men not to stop telling other men to date single mothers. And why not? Isn't that the same shit y'all do on y'all side? Telling women not to date single fathers? What makes you the exception to the rule? And it doesn't matter what these simps and these Captain Sabums to single mothers have to say either. Boyce Watkins can say what the fuck he want. He don't control men. He don't control these men out here. Dr. Umar the Quack Johnson, he doesn't control these men. Derek Jackson and his wannabes don't control these men either. It's not up to them. And and these bitter, entitled single mothers can bring up Russell Wilson and Sierra all the fuck they want. Like that shit matters. Oh, but Russell Wilson got with Sierra even though she had Future's baby. And Russell Wilson decided that he was going to be a step. He was going to fill in that role. And no, nobody has a problem with Russell Wilson being with Sierra. So stop your bitching about that shit. He made his choice. He made his choice. He was gonna step in and play stepdaddy to Sierra's child, and that's what he did. Even got kids from Sierra himself. Case in point, that was Russell Wilson's choice. And I'm sorry to say, but Russell Wilson's choice ain't all the men's choices here. He wanted to play stepfather. That was his decision. And no, nobody's hating on neither Russell Wilson or Sierra for that shit. So shut the fuck up forever on that matter. But the question is, not can these bitter entitled single mothers by choice can get a Russell Wilson. The real question is, do they even deserve a Russell Wilson? And the simplest answer is no. Sierra did what she had to do in order to get Russell Wilson. And I can honestly say this shit too. The vast majority of y'all ain't even willing to make that sacrifice Sierra has did. And I'm being upfront, real, and brutally honest. What did Sierra do in order to get a Russell Wilson? Well, guess what? What she did was the solution I gave these bitter, entitled single mothers. Get off your fucking high horse and realize your situation. You're a female you're a single mother with children. Stop trying to compete with the single and childless females out here in the dating market. You will lose every time. Instead, humble yourself. Understand your situation. Understand your position. Have that sense of realization that not all men is going to settle for being a stepfather. Nor is all these men out here have some kind of obligation. They're not obligated to come in and take care of you, your child, and play a stepfather. That is wishful thinking. Instead, find the ones that will. And no, you can't force these men to play roles they don't want to play or settle for roles they don't want to settle for. If he don't want to be a stepfather, then that's that. You're not changing his mind. But if a man wants to, then guess what? It's going to happen. And yeah, you will have men out here that has no problem selling for that role. And in some cases, there's a pretty good chance the man that will sell for the role, 9 times out of 10, have children as well that he's raising. And as I'm hearing it from everybody outside YouTube, these single mothers have a better chance getting with a single father, a man with children, and have everything work out more than a man who is single, childless, and has a whole lot going for him. But then again, the only reason why they want these single and childless men are for their goddamn resources. And yes, over here we call strikes a strike and a ball, and it's facts over feelings. Off the rip. But you see, nowadays, these single mothers by choice feel so entitled that men should have to settle for them. No, they don't. This is the reason why they all up on social media, all up in their feelings and emotions, and when they get rejected by these single and childless men, they now feel hurt. They're so hurt. They're so triggered. And as far as these men are concerned, they want the ones who gave you that child. They want the ones they want the ones that brought you to their bed and clapped those cheeks. And for some of y'all definitely need to get back to your baby daddy, especially he didn't do nothing wrong. Instead of hoping a man would come in and fill that role. And all these retired fucks get mad at the men all they want. Because guess what? You also got women out here telling these single mothers about themselves as well. So no, it's not just the men. So all you anti-manosphere crybabies have several seats and shut the fuck up forever. It's not just the men anymore. The women are calling this shit out too. And guess who's fucking quiet? Like a church mouse. So by the end of the day, these single mothers' sense of entitlement goes out the fucking window. Especially to the ones who chose to be single mothers, the ones who left their baby daddies because of whatever reason. By the end of the day, These men, especially the men who are single, childless, and a whole lot going for them, they're not going to settle for less, especially if they know for a fact that they deserve better. A man who's single, childless, knows his worth, and a whole lot going for them, they're not settling for less. No matter how much you want to jump on social media, make all the videos, make all the tweets, make all the Facebook posts, make all your Instagram shots, boo-hoo, whining and crying over the fact that these men is not going to settle to be single father, to be stepdaddies. It's not going to happen. And for some of y'all should have made better choices. Especially this. And yes, you got females out here that didn't like the men that they were with, didn't want to marry, didn't want to do none of that, but somehow, some way, these men were still worthy enough to get kids by them. And now they don't want these men anymore. Now they want other men to fill that role. Yeah, good luck with that. But nevertheless, I said what I had to say. I'm done telling these delusional, entitled single mothers about themselves. And if you got a problem with it, fuck your feelings. I'm not sugarcoating, and I'm out this bitch. Later.